Stampers, and welcome to Laura's Stamp Pad. Today I'm going to show you a fabulous technique called the baby wipe technique. So you can see that these beautiful pink flowers, you know how I love the color pink, so this card is just my favorite card ever. I absolutely love it and so enjoyed making it. And then this fabulous card, that background was actually created using that baby wipe technique as well as the flowers here. And this card just screams like teenager for me. Like, just doesn't that look so like punk rock or something? I don't know. But I just love this, and I think it'll be great for all of my teens and tweens that I'll be sending birthday cards to. Of course, it says a birthday wish. That's just for you. And then the coordinating greeting is on the inside. Friends and fun and presents too. Happy birthday. That is from the Remembering Your Birthday stamp set. So I'm going to show you how to do this technique, and of course, as with any technique, there's a few variations that you can do. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm actually just going to pull in. This is one of my clear block stamp cases, so it's just the little DVD case. You could always do this on a paper plate or in a Rubbermaid container, you know, anything that's like plastic that it's okay to get some ink on so that then you can rub the ink right off. And I'm just using regular baby wipes. And so here's one of my baby wipes. It's still wet and everything, and I'm just going to fold this up and make it just a little bit smaller so it's also a little bit thicker too. And then we're going to be using our re-inkers. So what a great way to use up your re-inkers, because after all, we don't really use them for the ink pads unless we're using a color a lot, which I do use Melon Mambo a lot, so I do go through that one quite a bit. But otherwise, we have all the re-inkers for just in case that ink pad, you know, gets used up or dries up a little bit. But what can we do with the rest of the ink? So this is a great technique to do with that. I have Pink Pirouette, which is the lightest pink, and Melon Mambo, which is our darkest pink, and I'm just going to just dot all over, just wherever, just kind of squeeze and see where the ink goes, and just kind of make splotches all over. And then I'm going to take the Melon Mambo, and I'm going to do the same, but I'm going to be filling in all those spots between. And the image I'm using is the flower image, which is from the Crazy About You. So it's actually going to be this image here, the medallion flower. So that's really as big as I need to go with my splotch here. It doesn't need to be huge or anything because the stamp that I'm using is smaller. And it's okay that there's still some white spots in there, because once you start stamping, it starts to push that ink out and about, and it starts to meld together and everything. So that's no problem at all. You don't need to fill in every single little white spot that's available. The super fun thing is now you're going to use this as your ink pad, and when you stamp down, especially with the photopolymer stamps, you can see the ink and the water just kind of squish all over in that stamp. And so I'm just going to ink down and then stamp on a piece of scrap Whisper white cardstock. How beautiful is that? And each one is going to come out different. They're all going to be, you know, just a little bit different. Some might be a little more light pink. Some of them might be more dark pink. And it also doesn't matter where you go back to on your ink pad. You don't have to go back to the exact same spot to be afraid that you're going to mix the colors or anything. That's what you're going for here, is mixed colors. Let's see, can I fit one more flower on there? And there. How fabulous. Those are just so gorgeous with the variations of colors and the light pinks and the dark pinks. It's just absolutely beautiful. I love it. And I just wanted to share with you this one on this side I used a few days ago at one of my classes. And with this one, what I actually did is I took my flower stamp, and it wasn't inked up with anything, and I just kind of stamped it onto the baby wipe. So let's see, maybe I can do this for you, even though it is dirty right now. But I just stamped it down to get a borderline of an item of what that looked like. Then I took my re-inkers and I actually tried to do some outlining. So I sort of did all the flower petals going up and down in that outside. And then I want to do a little dab in the middle. And then I filled in the rest with the light pink. And again, this is just a variation, and you can do it however you want, but then this is gonna come out with a little bit of a dark center, a dark tips as well. So let's see. We'll bring in another scrap piece, and I'm just gonna wipe this off with a baby wipe so it's nice and cleaned off. And we'll ink this down. And you can see that the ink kind of went everywhere and pulled right here. And stamp it onto our cardstock. So it didn't quite come out with all of the edges to be darker, but you can see there's that center and then the light in the middle and then the darker on the edge. And maybe if I lined this up better, it would come out a little different. Let's try this one. See, I still have that part off, so maybe I could always go in with a little bit more of some darker ink right here on this side. But again, this is one of those fabulous techniques that each one's gonna come out different, and that's the beauty of it. So now we're just going to punch this out with the coordinating punch, and you'll just wanna make sure that that top big flower lines up with your other flowers, and punch. And we'll do that with this one as well. And then I'll show you the finished card again. So I added a few of the leaves from the same Crazy About You stamp set, and this leaf here, I did that in Wild Wasabi, and then I added my flowers. This flower I put on the corner and I laid him flat using snail adhesive. These two I actually used Stampin' Dimensionals to pop those up to give a little bit of texture and dimension to my beautiful flowers there. And then I used a greeting from the Lovely Amazing You stamp set, which I love the font of that, and I love the greetings. They're so fabulous. And this was all done on a piece of Whisper White cardstock that measures 3 3/4 by 5. Then the Melon Mambo layer is 4 by 5 1/4, and then of course it's on Whisper White card base, which measures 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. So that one is super fabulous. Let's bring back in that other one. With this one I actually just used 3 colors, and I used Tempting Turquoise, Elegant Eggplant, and Daffodil Delight. And you can see I just kind of squirted all over and then went in and squirted all over again with another color and then the third color. And this one really does get messy, and I love how you get those greens after a while. It starts to kind of meld together and those blues and yellows make green, and that is just absolutely gorgeous. So I love that. And I used the Gorgeous Grunge stamp set to do that background, then layered it on some Tempting Turquoise, added a little bit of the Daffodil Delight seam binding, and put that on my card front. Super fabulous. I love it. This technique is so much fun. By the way, you can also get a lot of cards out of one of these baby wipes. It doesn't dry up really fast. It goes on and on forever. And this one I used 2 days ago, and I could probably still get a good 20 cards out of it today, even though it's been in this case and it's been sitting around. So no worries about it drying up fast or you going through a lot of re-ink or anything like that. It is so much fun and a great way to make an awesome technique with multiple colors. Be sure to check out my blog, laurastamppad.com, so you can see more on these samples and the how-to on each of the dimensions and colors used. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel just below. Happy stamping! Bye-bye!